Glad to have you with us here on a Tuesday. I'm Marlin, Bohling, your tour guide to the ag commodities. Let's look at our corn market with our quotes provided by Bar Chart. And on the corn, we have been struggling today. So far, we are still trading lower, but we have come off of the lows by just a little bit. December corn currently down 3 3/4 at 6.79 3/4. So we have come back by about 4 cents from the earlier pressure that we had today. Soybean trade, well, we have November down 7 1/4 now at 13.78. That's a penny from its low of the day. January down 6 3/4. It's now down 7 1/4 at 13.85 1/2. Let's switch over to this wheat market that has had some pressure today, to say the least. In Chicago, December dropping 17 cents at 8.44 per bushel. In Kansas City, it's been following suit. You have December 15 1/2 lower. Last trade there is now 9.36 1/2 per bushel. In Minneapolis, the December spring wheat down 10 3/4. Last trade down 9.44 1/2. About cotton, well, you have the December contract up 5 points at 83.14, but all the other months are a little bit weaker, as much as 27 lower if you go all the way out to July. Well, I'm joined by Ben Hushon, and he is with the mill in Whitehall, Maryland. And we love to get updates from Ben from time to time to see what's going on in that part of the Mid-Atlantic region there with agriculture. I know harvest is well underway, Ben. You have talked with about that with me here in the past. How far along do you think they are, and are they making progress this week?
Good morning, Marlin. They are making progress, probably getting started about now. We had a pretty good week of harvest, and then Thursday we had anywhere from a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch, pretty widespread across the community. Got everybody down till I didn't really see anybody running Saturday, a little bit Sunday. Back at it yesterday, and then obviously we weren't listening to Tim Ross because locally the weather said the rain was going to stay south of Baltimore and D.C., and next thing we know, we had a 1/4 inch of rain roll through and pretty much shut the combine down. We have folks bouncing back and forth. Marlin, full season soybeans are ready for harvest. And of course, as we've talked before, I mean, locally, I can sell wheat next July for $8.10. So guys are stopping a little bit to plant, still trying to plant some wheat. So every day they just have to evaluate it. They're going to cut corn. Is it still standing? Soybeans, they're definitely ready. And should I stop and plant wheat? So there's a lot going on, and they are back in the field this morning.
You know, you're kind of at that middle latitude. I just wondered, do many of the farmers around that area there put in soybeans and then harvest them and then try and drill wheat in right behind them after the combine, or what?
Yeah, so full season. So it's interesting. It's moved maturity, yields of what used to be considered short season beans seem to be matching full season beans in our community now. So yes, they'll plant beans late April, first couple of weeks of May, harvest them, and certainly plant wheat behind them. Makes a great way to plant wheat. And then, of course, we still have probably half the wheat goes in after corn, just because that seems to fit the rotation pretty well. So things are moving along. I don't think we're at 50% corn harvested yet, but certainly moving along quickly.
All right. Just recently here, Ben, any thoughts on what basis has been doing for cash basis like on corn now?
Yeah, it's flipped. You asked me that maybe a month ago, and rarely are we negative, and we were somewhere between 0 and negative. And so I did a little homework here in the last few days. The Schwartz family over at Mom and Pa Farms, and they're telling me basis is back to plus 40 to plus 60, kind of bouncing around a little. So there's a need for local corn and beans again.
Wow, that's quite a switch. Okay, well, thanks for the update on that. It's definitely a very regional thing, that's for sure. All right, thanks, Ben. Ben Hushon of the Mill in Whitehall, Maryland, with a look at our agricultural setting this week. And we'll pause right here. We'll get you updated on livestock trade right after this.